Cali Steak. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So it looks like another valuable piece for the Clippers is down in injury, and there's another injury for the Clippers that they really can't afford to happen right now. Now, I do understand, the Clippers have a lot of depth and everything like that, and it definitely makes up for, what they might be missing at times due to injury. But of course, when it's a core player or a valuable player or a player they really, kind of trust or, have high hopes for or believe that can also, be a part of helping lead this team, then it's definitely an issue. Now, me personally, I think the Clippers will be fine because of all depth they have, but at the same time, they're still missing a valuable piece in a lot of in a lot of people's minds. And he is a valuable piece because he is a part of the culture and he knows the culture real well. And when he's playing well, he does really contribute to the team highly, and he's definitely a part of the organization itself in regards to how he can, play at a high level at times. And really, there's times where I've seen this guy play at a high level, and whenever he plays well, the Clippers win. And the guy I'm talking about is Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, with me, personally, he's been up and down to me throughout his several seasons with the Clippers. I haven't seen enough consistency out of him. I thought he'd be the third best player on the team in regards to playoffs, but he hasn't. I feel like Reggie Jackson took that about 2 seasons ago as the third best player, because Reggie Jackson played better in the playoffs when they were trying to make their run before Kawhi got hurt in the playoffs a couple seasons ago. But at the same time, technically, Marcus Morris is supposed to be the third guy on this team behind Kawhi and PG. But at the same time, you see instances where he plays really good. You see moments, you see a couple months stretch or something like that, or a month or 2 stretch where he plays decent. And then he goes into his shell at times, offensively and defensively, which kind of makes him a liability for the Clippers at times, especially in big moments in the playoffs, where I haven't really seen him show up the way I thought that he would have for the Clippers by now. And of course, the fact that he is getting older, that does factor in. But right now, he's dealing with a rib contusion that he got the other night from the Lakers-Clippers game, where he suffered maybe like mid-second quarter or something like that, and he never returned to the game. It's not for certain right now whether he would be out a substantial amount of time, but it is, for certain that he does have that injury, and it could, hinder him from, playing within the next, 1 or 2 games possibly, depending on how he feels. And, technically, regardless of whether I think they should trade Marcus Morris or not, he is a vital piece to the Clippers because he's a part of their defense. He plays defense when he wants to, and he can score, when he wants to. When his head is on right and when he's healthy, he's a valuable piece to any team. But that's the thing with Marcus Morris. You gotta just get consistency out of him, on both ends of the floor. So it's like it could be hit or miss with him at times. But so far, what I've seen from him the last few weeks, I've been paying attention to him specifically a little bit more. He's been playing fairly decent. I can't, knock him for that. But at the same time, I got to see him do it in the playoffs. I don't really care what any one of them do in the regular season, because really the Clippers are not based on that right now. They're based on playoffs and championship, and that's it. So what they do there is really what I'm paying attention to. And I have to see Marcus Morris play the way I've seen him play, the last couple of weeks. He's played pretty well, not bad, but I have to see him play like that in the playoffs, because if he does, the Clippers would definitely have a lot better chance of going to the NBA Finals, because he would be that third guy that they can depend on, that they really paid him to be a few years ago when they gave him that $60 million contract. He's supposed to be that third guy for them. So, I need to see him live up to that in the playoffs and get himself healthy for now to try to get back into his rhythm. So when he comes back from his rib contusion, he can continue to doing what he was doing and maybe add to his game a little bit more, and add to the team a little bit more in regards to their depth. But as of right now, if he's going to be out a substantial amount of time, I think it's still going to be okay, because I think Nico Batum, and they still got Robert Covington. I think Robert Covington will get more minutes based upon if Marcus Morris has to be out of X amount of time, which would be good, because I think Robert Covington is a better version of Marcus Morris anyway. I think Robert Covington is, I feel like he's he's just as good on defense, and I feel like he can't score as well as Marcus Morris, but he can knock down a three, and that's what he does. He spots up for threes, and he knocks them down pretty well. I mean, shooting, I know, like, at one point he was shooting like 37%, so which was pretty good. I'm pretty sure that might have went down a little bit by now, but regardless, he's still a knockdown shooter, and he is a really good defender to me. I mean, he's not like the best defender in the league or anything like that, but he has good instincts on defense. And I always say, guys that got good instincts on defense makes plays when you need them to, and that's all that matters. And of course, when you need them to would be in big moments like the playoffs, something like that, which would be huge for the Clippers, because he really makes their depth a little bit more stronger in regards to defensively, because Nico Batum is getting older. He's still good defensively. He still can knock down shots. He's still valuable. But at the same time, I said before, I think Robert Covington is somewhat of a, younger version of Nico Batum, maybe a little bit more athletic. I'm not really sure, because I remember when Nico was on the Trailblazers back in the day, he was pretty athletic there too. But regardless of that, I think between them two, they'll take Marcus Morris minutes, and I think they'll utilize them to their advantage. And honestly, I think it wouldn't be a bad thing, since Ty Lue likes to explore a lot, it wouldn't be a bad thing to see, explore and see, more about Robert Covington, and see how much he can give them, in regards to how he fits well with Kawhi and PG on the floor, and give him the minutes and see, because Ty likes to experiment a lot. So if Ty sees a lot of good play out of Robert Covington, he just might actually put Robert Covington in the starting lineup and let Marcus Morris come off the bench when he comes back, which really wouldn't be a bad idea. It really wouldn't, because I feel like Marcus Morris would thrive a little bit more that way, because he'd have more of the green light when he comes in the game, and he can, play his game without worrying about stepping on anybody else. So, I mean, I feel like that might actually benefit Marcus Morris some if Ty Lue decides to do that, which you can't rule out anything with Ty Lue, because he loves experimenting, he loves trying things, and whether it comes back to bite him or not, he just does it anyway. So we'll see what happens there. But it's still, regardless, he's still on the team. Marcus Morris, they haven't traded him, so he's still I would say a crucial piece to their success, unless they trade him and get somebody equivalent to him or better. I just think that injuries have robbed this team of a lot these last few seasons, and they're gonna have to find a way to stay healthy and get healthy, and continuously stay that way, because this part of the season now, you're going to the part of the season now where you have to be playing your best basketball, because we're already past halfway of the season, and it's not long before we'll be talking playoffs here soon before you even know it. So I mean, really, the Clippers gonna have to buckle down and stay as tight as they can. Shout out to Kawhi and PG. They're holding down as much as they can, especially Kawhi. He's getting back in the rhythm. I love to see it. I love to see Paul George get back into his rhythm. As I said before, I don't like Paul George playing the point guard role, but I mean, hey, Ty Lue makes a decision, so you go from there with that. But at the same time, I just think that, with Marcus Morris going out, I feel like it opens up more minutes for Robert Covington, which I think he should have been getting more minutes anyway. So this might open up a door for him, or an avenue for him to get more minutes, and possibly continuously get more minutes throughout the season going into the playoffs. So, you lose one, you pick up something else better, possibly on the other end. That's just the way, life works. And maybe this is a better opportunity for Robert Covington to get the minutes I feel like he should have been getting, because he's a defensive guy more than anything. And I feel like one thing the Clippers need to focus more on is the defensive end rather than offense, because you play great on defense, you're winning a lot more games rather than losing. See, if you play good just on offense, then that means you're putting up a lot of points, but that doesn't mean the other team is not putting up the same amount of points with you, because you're not stopping them. So this could be a blessing in disguise, I guess, for Robert Covington. Definitely Nico's definitely gonna get some of those minutes as well. But I want to see what Covington does when he gets more of these minutes, because I believe he will be the one to get it, unless Ty Lue throws a surprise in there. And hopefully Marcus Morris comes back stronger than ever, and they can put it all together and go forward and try to maybe even win a championship. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check my other videos if you haven't. And hey, till next time.